Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome everyone in today's class for the first intermediate grade. Our textbook is Super Goal 1 and today we will be learning the expansion units from Unit 5 until Unit 8, and the lesson is Writing and About You. This lesson will be presented by me, Teacher Mazen Al-Harbi, and the sign language by Mr. Saleh Al-Ujan. So let's begin. Our objectives for today's lesson: we hope that at the end of this lesson you will be able to generate ideas using the mind map, and also to be able to write an email to a friend, and also to answer questions about yourself. A quick revision on our last lesson. Last lesson we had a similar writing text, and we said, what kind of text is this? Is it a story? Or is it an instructions, or is it a mail? And we said in order to identify this text as an email, there are certain parts that need to be in each mail or in each email. One of them is the greeting. We said last lesson that we should start each of our mails or email with a greeting. And also we need to have a main text after the greeting. The main text usually have the general ideas. What are we about to say, and what is the reason behind writing this email? And also closing. Here we have a simple sentence, one sentence or two sentences to write closing sentences at the end of email, just to to tell the receiver of this email about what do you want from him, and what do you hope from him, or to hear back from him, all these kind of phrases. And also at the end we have a signature, where you usually have a phrase of one word or two, and finally your name. And also we have read this email from Mark to Umar, when Mark says he thanks Umar for his email, and he said that I will answer the question about your last email. And he said, Mark started to identify his family. He said, I have a small family. I have my father, my mother, and my sister. And he said also, what does his sister do? He said she is studying to be a doctor, because his father is a doctor too. And also about himself, he said, I live in a small town and my neighborhood is nice and quiet. He said we have everything we need in our neighborhood. He also said that he has in his neighborhood an enormous shopping mall. It has everything that he might need. And also he said this is the place where me and my friends usually go to hang out. So, and also he said that he has a pet and he play football on his free time. And the closing Mark chooses to write is, tell me more about your family, your town, and your interest. And this is the last email that we have read from our last lesson. And also we have a couple of interesting vocabularies that we need to identify its meaning. One of them was college. We said college is the stage of your education life that comes after high school. And also the word enormous. When we say enormous shopping mall, it means a very big shopping mall. And also the other word we use, which is local. When we say local team, it means in the same city. Local means in the same city. So here are three important words that we have identified from our last lesson. So today we have an interesting exercise. Today we will try to write a similar email to the previous email we have read in our last lesson. And we're going to divide this exercise into different parts. Let's read first what this exercise said, that you are writing an email to a new friend, circle the information you want to include, add your own ideas. Then write your email. Use Mark's email to help you. So we're going to do this writing text under the Mark's email, under Mark's email that we have read, just to get some assistance from his email and how did he write it. So let's begin our first step, writing to a friend. So before we begin writing, we have to ask ourselves, is it someone from another country? The friend that we want to choose or we want to write to, is it from outside of the country? Think of anyone that you may know from outside of the country or maybe from neighboring countries. So, is he a friend? Is it someone that you are familiar with, that you usually write to him or he writes you back? Just think of that. The other question that we should consider is, if it's not from another country, is it someone in their community? So is it someone we know from our community? So this is an important question, two questions that you need to consider before choosing who would you write to. And here, as an example, I have chosen a friend. I have chosen a friend from another country, and this friend name is Ali. So now, or today, we are going to learn how to write an email to our mutual friend Ali. Okay? So Ali is someone from other country, we're in the same community, and we're going to write him an email. So this is the name of the receiver of the email that we are about to send. The second step we have for today is circle the information you want to include. So on the same page that you have, page 75, you will see a table like this. And in this table, you have information. You have information that you can choose some of it to include in your email. Let's read the information that is written here, and then we can choose some of it to include it in our email. The first one is family, and in this one you talk about your family. How many brothers or sisters you have, what are your parents or what do your parents do, and also if your brothers or sister work or not, or if they are studying or not. So here you must have or you must mention enough information about your family. And also town. Talk about the city you live in. What kind of facilities it has, if there are any landmarks, famous landmarks in that city. And also neighborhood. Talk about the neighborhood. If your neighborhood has stores or if it has green areas or different parks. So just talk about the facilities that your neighborhood has. And also favorite food. You can talk about your favorite food. What do you like to eat in lunch or in dinner? So just talk about your favorite food. And also here we have pets. Pets mean the animals that you like to raise. Talk about them as we have read in Mark's email. Also teacher. So talk about your favorite teachers. And your friends. Talk about your friends, who is your closest friend, and what are the things that you like to go to or the places you like to hang out. And also your favorite film that we have learned from last unit about the types of film that we would like to watch. You can mention here what type or what kind of film you like to watch. And also sport, if you have a favorite sport or not. Talk about your favorite sport, talk about your favorite player or your favorite team. Also hobbies. In your free time, what do you do? What are the activities that you like to do in your free time? This is what do you mean by hobbies, the things that you like to do in your free time. And what are they? Of course, you can do a lot of activities in your free time, but there are certain activities that you like to do the most. Those activities, we call them favorite hobbies. So you can talk about it. And also school subjects. You know that in school you have different subjects. You have mathematics, you have history, you have English, you have a lot of subjects. So talk about your favorite school subject and why do you like it. Also the weather. You can talk about the weather in your town or in your city. Is it sunny all the time? Is it rainy? Is it cloudy? So this is a topic you can talk about in your email. Also your school, talk about your school, talk about the teacher, the facilities, and also the students in your school. How far is it from your house? All of this information, as we have read in Mark's email, you can include it in your email. House, talk about your house. How many rooms how many rooms is it in your house? And how big is your room, your siblings or your brothers and sisters' room? You can talk about it as well. And the last thing, holidays. Where do you like to go on holidays? If there is any specific city you like to go to when you have a break or when you have a holiday. So here are a list of the information we can choose in order to write our email. And remember, only 4 or 5 of these is enough for one email. So obviously we cannot choose all of them because the text will be longer and will not be a proper email. We can choose only 4 or 5 things or 5 information from this list to make or to write one email. And also you can have or you can write more ideas. You can write more ideas in here. For example, talking about cars, for example, or talking about favorite characters or favorite stories. You can also add your own ideas. So as an example, I have chosen 5 information that I will use in order to write an email. Let's find out what those information are. The first one is family. We're going to talk about the family using a mind map that I will show you later. And also the other information I have chosen is neighborhood. We're also going to talk about neighborhood and the facilities that our neighborhood has and etc. And also favorite film. What kind of films that we like or I like in order to write my email. And also hobbies, the activities, or the things that I like to do in my free time. I will talk about it as well in my email. And the last thing, the school subject. What kind of subjects that I like to write an email. So here are the 5 information that I would use or I have chosen to write an email. And I'm showing you this as an example. You can choose this or you can choose any other information that you wish for. So here is an example. If you choose any information that you have seen from the list, you must do a mind map as we can see here. So for example, you write the information here and you write all the things that relates to this information. For example, when we talk about family or we have chosen a family, so the names of the family member. The name of your brother, the name of your sister, your parent, you must put them into consideration. And also, how many brothers and sisters do you have? Also, this is an information that you need to mention. You need to answer if you want to talk about a family. And also, how old are they? How old are your family members? This is an important question that you need to think of when you write about your family. And also, what does your father do? So, what exactly does your father do? Or your mother? Or your brother? Or sister? Or any family member? So, if you are thinking to write about your family, here are 4 questions that important to mention in your email. And you can do the same with the other information. You can do this with subjects. You can do this with the films, with food, and all the other information. So this mind map is very important in order to write an email. And you can use 2 questions or 3 or 1 of them. That is okay. But these are important questions you need to consider. So, before we write our email, let's remind ourselves with the parts that we need to put in mind before writing an email. So, as under Mark's email, so now we're going to write our own email. First, we're going to start our email with a greeting. What do you mean by greeting? We said greeting is the phrase that we usually use in the beginning of our email. And those phrases like dear, in our case here we have chosen Ali, we can say dear Ali, hi Ali, hello Ali. All of these phrases, we can use them in the beginning of an email. And also the main text. What do you mean? What do you mean by the main text? The main text is the main ideas. The reason behind writing this email, we must mention it after the greeting. And also closing. There are some phrases that we use when we close our email, when we want to conclude, when we want to end our email. Those phrases like write me back, or see you soon, or tell me more. So those phrases are important when you want to close your email. And the last part we have in our email is signature. And what do you mean by signature? Is phrases like best wishes, kind regards, take care. It's one word or two words at most for the signature, and under the signature comes your name or the sender name. So these are very important parts before writing any email. So now, let's read this email, and after we read this email, we can practice our own email. So here, as we can see, I have written this email based on the information we have just introduced. So as we have agreed, we started or we chose the friend that we will send this email to by the name Ali. So see how I did, or how did I write this email, and you can do the same. Hi Ali, I have a small family. There are just my parents and my brother. My father is reading a newspaper. My mother likes to cook. My brother works in a bank. I live in a nice and quiet neighborhood that has everything we need. I like going to school to learn about different things. In my free time, after I finish my homework, I like to watch comedy films because they make me laugh a lot. Tell me more about your family, your neighborhood, and your interests. Take care, Mazen. So this is an example of the email that I have wrote to my friend Ali. So we said previously that we chose 5 information from the list, from the table, to write or to use in our email, which are the family. Here I talked about my family. I have a small family, my parents, my brother, my father is reading, my mother likes to cook, and my brother works in a bank. And the second information we have chosen is neighborhood. Here I talked about my neighborhood. I said, I live in a nice and quiet neighborhood that has everything we need. And also I talked about the school subjects. I said, I like going to school to learn about different things. And I also talked about my hobbies. I said, in my free time, after I finish my homework, I like to watch films or comedy film. This is my hobby. And what exactly my favorite film? I also mentioned it in this sentence. I said, I like to watch comedy films because they make me laugh a lot. So here I have mentioned 5 information from the list that we have seen in the table. And you can also do a similar email to this. If you choose 5 information, and you can, by using the parts of writing an email, you can choose it and write your own email. So here we have started with a greeting, with the main text, and this is the closing I chose, and this is the signature. And now, at the last part of our lesson today, here we have a couple of questions about you. Let's read those questions, and you can think of an answer that relates to you. The first one is, Do you live in a quiet or busy neighborhood? The neighborhood you live in, is it quiet or is it busy? It has a lot of noise, a lot of people. Number 2, what is your favorite hangout place? So, when you have a free time, you and your friends, where do you like to go? Do you like to go to the park or to the mall? What is your favorite hangout place? Number 3, do you have a lot of friends? This is a yes or no question. Do you have a lot of friends in school maybe, or in your neighborhood, or even among your family? Number 4, who are your best friend? Who are your best friends? Who are they? What are their names? And also, do you have any pets? If you do, what kind of pets? What kind of animal that you like to raise? Number 6, what are their names? The animals that you have raised, you can say what their names are. And also, what are your favorite kinds of film? So you, of course, you watch films and you have favorite kinds. So what are they? And also, what hobbies do you have? What hobbies that you like to do in your free time? And number 9, do you play a sport? And what kind of sport? What kind of sport you like to do in your free time? Is it football, basketball, volleyball, or any other sport? And the last one, do you collect anything? And what do you have? Collecting, it means to gather them, to keep them with you, maybe in records or in boxes like stamps. So if you do collect something, tell us what is it. And what do you have exactly for your own collection? So here are a very important 10 questions to learn more about yourself. And now we have reached the end of our lesson. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.